Right, so we'll go through the solutions to last Wednesday's homework. The first question was complete the following sentence. Vertical columns of elements are called, so this is the ones obviously vertical going down that way, so they're called groups. And horizontal rows of elements, so going this way, are called periods. So 17.3, name 3 elements from group 2. So if I literally just do the top 3, it's probably the easiest. So here's group 2 here, this one here, so beryllium, magnesium, calcium. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium are the top 3. B then, 3 elements from period 2, so I actually have this arrow here on period 2. So lithium, beryllium, boron are the first 3 there. Lithium, beryllium, and, oh, sorry, no O in boron, it's just B. And then C, the element in group 1 and period 3. So group 1 is here, and then period 3 is here, so that's Na, which is sodium. Okay, that is the first year's homework. Okay, so 17.4. Okay, so refer to figure 17.1 and 17.2. I think that might have been a periodic table. Anyway, so copy this table to show that you understand how the periodic table is arranged. So carbon. So carbon is here. Symbol is C. Period. It's there in period 2. And the group, so 1, 1, 2. This is 3. This is 4. So group 4. And is it a metal or a non-metal? Now they don't have the stairs in this one. Don't know why that is now. Hang on, let me see, can I go in and get them? So just let me go into metals and non-metals here and see, can we get, you know, the steps on the periodic table that kind of split up your metals and your non-metals. No. Oh, there, you can see them in that one. Okay, so you can kind of just go a bit thick here. You can see the steps. Okay, and on this side of the steps we have the metals, and then on this side we have the non-metals. Okay, so I think that's regular. So is carbon a metal or a non-metal? So here it is on the right hand side, so it's a non-metal. And H then, so H is here. I won't be able to write that small, it's hydrogen. The period, so hydrogen is in period 1, it's also in group 1, it's over there. And hydrogen, now, it's better in this one, it's kind of on its own. Hydrogen is not a metal, it's a non-metal, even though in this periodic table it's over. Like, it is in group 1 as well, but it doesn't really, it's a bit of an anomaly, it doesn't really fit properly into any of the groups. So yeah, it is a non-metal. Now, period 2 and group 3. So period, did I read that right? Period 2, group 3. So here's period 2, and if I go across to group 3, I get boron. So B is boron. Then they did the groups for me, and you can see, oh, we go down here, there's boron, so it's on the non-metal side, so it is a non-metal. Barium, yeah, they actually have the names in this one, which would make it a bit easier. Can you see? Oh, there it is there. Ba, it's very blurry, but Ba is barium. Okay, so if I highlight it here, it's in period 6 and it's in group 2. So period 6, group 2, and then you saw where it was here, barium. So it's definitely on the left hand side of that stairs, so it's a metal. Chlorine. So chlorine is over here. So I suppose I'll do that bit first. Take the non-metals. Symbol is Cl. And if I go back up here, chlorine. So period is 3. Finish my groups. This is 5. This is 6. So chlorine is in group 7, the halogens. So what should I say? Period. Period 3, group 6. Period 3, group 6, and we've already ticked non-metal. He then is helium. So you can see it here. So it's a non-metal. And back up here then, it's period 1, and it's the last group there, group 8. So period 1 and group 8. Okay, so that's that table done. Away again. So the next table. Alright, copy and complete the following table. So this is about looking at the atoms present. So here we have 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. Here we have 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygens. Here we have 1 sodium, 1 oxygen, 1 hydrogen atom. And here we have 1 sodium, 1 chlorine. Okay, just counting the atoms. Okay. Right, so these are bonds between metals and non-metals, so calcium and chlorine. So calcium, where did I say it? Is here, and chlorine marked is over here, so metal and non-metal. So when you bond between metal and non-metal, it becomes an ide. So this is calcium, oh my god. Hang on, try and spell it properly. So it's calcium chloride. Lithium and bromine. So yeah, bromine's over here and lithium's over here. So again, metal and non-metal. So it's lithium bromide. And then magnesium and oxygen. Again, magnesium is there and oxygen is over here. So metal and non-metal becomes magnesium oxide. So that's between metals and non-metals. Okay, so doing the combining power. Right, so nitrogen. I have to scroll back up here and find nitrogen. Make it on a different colour, just go black maybe. So nitrogen is here in group 5. So nitrogen, symbol is N, it's in group 5. So if it's in group 5, it means it has 5 electrons in its outer shell. So the amount of electrons needed to make a full outer shell is 3, because remembering that it has to add up to 8. And whatever the amount of electrons needed, that is the combining power. So it has a combining power of 3. So the diagram isn't that important, but essentially combining power of 1, 2, 3. Oxygen is O. Go back up here and find it. So it's here in group 6. So oxygen is in group 6. So 7, 8, it needs 2. for its outer shell, and that's a combining power of 2. So for oxygen, it's just going to be 1, 2. Sulfur, where is sulfur now? Here it is here. Group 6. So sulfur is S. Did I get that earlier? S is sulfur. Yeah, sulfuric acid. I think I said that was sulfur anyway. If I didn't, it's sulfur. Okay, so what group did I say sulfur was in? Sulfur's in group 6. Group 6, meaning it needs 2 electrons, combining power is 2, so same as oxygen. It's got a combining power of 2. And then chlorine, we've seen a few times, is Cl. It is in group 7, there it is there. So it's in group 7. If it's in group 7, it only needs 1. So its combining power is 1, so putting sulfur, sorry. So that's going to be chlorine with a combining power of 1. Okay, and now that whole combining power thing is when you're looking at bonds between non-metals and non-metals. Okay, so this the ides here, that was with metals and non-metals. Okay, so it's a nice easy thing. It's not as easy for non-metals and non-metals. Okay, they're just awkward. The names are awkward. Hydrogen, it's part of this group here. Here it is here. So it's in group 1. It needs 1 electron to fill its outer shell. So if we do hydrogen, it's got a combining power of 1. Chlorine, 7, so it just needs 1. So it's also got a combining power of 1. So basically, if you take that chlorine and put it here, it'll fill what the hydrogen needs. So we need 1 hydrogen to 1 chlorine. So it literally becomes HCl, which is hydrogen chloride. Okay, now nitrogen, did we do nitrogen here? We did. Nitrogen is here, it's got a combining power of 3, so nitrogen is 1, 2, 3. Hydrogen, we've done it here already, so hydrogen is just got 1. So you're basically going to need to put a hydrogen here, you're going to need to put a hydrogen here, and you're going to need to put a hydrogen here. So that means for 1 nitrogen, you're going to need 3 hydrogens. Okay, and that becomes NH3, which if you look it up is called ammonia. And the last one then is carbon. So did we do carbon? Handy, we did. So carbon is in group 4, which means it needs another 4. Yeah. And oxygen we did. So oxygen is in group 6, which means it needs 2. So oxygen has a combining power of 2. Yeah. So 1 oxygen, if I take this oxygen and put it over here, will deal with this and this. Okay, so there's my oxygen dealing with those 2. And then to deal with these 2, I need another oxygen. Okay, because each oxygen has 2. Yeah, so 1 carbon is 2 oxygens, which is, sorry, 1 carbon needs 2 oxygens. So that's CO2, which you probably know is carbon dioxide. All right, so that's how you do. That's probably the hardest question, and trying to do that combining power. The last one is nice and easy. So this one is when you're, so it's metal plus non-metal plus oxygen, and when you do that, it becomes an 8. So this is potassium nitrate. This one is magnesium carbonate. This one is what is it with calcium? So calcium sulfate. You do that with a pH or an F. And this one is lithium phosphate. Alright, and that is the homework.